Shalom party people and welcome to the 12th C. I want to talk about a couple of changes that I have made to my EDC setup over the last, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 months. So start with lights. This is a Streamlight ProTac HL USB. I like this light, I really do. This is a Triton flashlight ring. It didn't fit, so I liked it because it was aluminum. I wanted one of the, I can't even remember the other brand, but there's a polymer brand that like clips on to a whole bunch of 1-inch body lights. And I can't remember that brand to save my life. But this was a knockoff that was made out of aluminum instead of plastic. And I chose this one because I could actually bend it, just dehorn all of the sharp edges that were on there, and instead of running the screws through it, just run some paracord and cinch it down. And if you look, you can actually see some daylight gaps through there, but it is friction fit on here and it works. I wanted a flashlight ring so that way I could do all the fun, cool things. So that way I could, draw my lamp, pull out my pistola and do all the cool, tactical things. And does this work? Yes, it works. But realistically, I can draw pistol, and YouTube, this is a fake pistol, by the way, this isn't real. I can draw the light with my fun setup and I can make contact, go out and do the flashlight things without having a flashlight hooked onto the pistol. Do I want a flashlight on the pistol? Yes, I do. Is that in the holster upgrade budget plus the flashlight? Because realistically, if I was gonna, change my holster setup, change my flashlight setup, that's a minimum of $300. It's probably gonna be a little bit more to get a good one. And I know, oh yeah, I can do it for cheaper. I can get, an OLED. And it's like, I don't care. If I'm gonna do one that I'm gonna depend my life on, I want a good one. And I love Streamlight. They make good flashlights. This one is USB rechargeable. This one is able to take off all the fun stuff. And I can pull out. This is rechargeable. And guess what? If you don't have this, or if it goes dead, 18650s drop right in, or 2 CR123As drop right in, and it works. Guess what? Because of the 2 springs in there, I'm not going to tell you that you should do this. I'm not going to say that I have done this or anything because it would void the warranty, but you can drop double A's in there and it works. It rattles around, but you put a little bit of tape on the sides and it works. So I'm not advocating for that, but in a pinch, you can use multi-fuel options, and I love this flashlight for that. This is a chunky boy. With this clip on here, and even running it straight, I would put it in my back pocket to where this would be pointed towards my butt crack, and everything would be relatively streamlined on this side. It is a nice flashlight. I sometimes still will EDC this in other ways, but this has migrated to a kit that it just works. I did wrap some paracord around this just so that way it was a little bit smoother. But you can do all the tactical things. You can actually bump your knuckle up against it if you've got the right pressures on things, and it does work. I would need to dehorn this a little bit more if I was truly to, use it in a that way configuration all the time. But I mean, this is one-handed, and it, you can activate it that way. Because this ring wasn't designed for this light, but hey, I made it work for me and I do like it. It does let you get behind things. I don't know how bright this is. And like I said in previous things, whoever tells you that, oh, look, I've got like this, 80,000 lumen light. It's like, who cares? Is it bright or is it not? Does it throw the light far enough or not? Like, is there a strobe feature? Yes, there's a strobe feature. I like having those things, but realistically on or off or dim. Those are features that are really nice in lights. I chose to retire this for this thing. This is the Roy Vaughan Angel Eyes E30 flashlight. I like this flashlight. It is slimmer. It is bright. It has a very, a nice setup. It has a dim setup. There is a safety in here that you get it too close and it actually will dim, and that's kind of nice. So it's there. It has a strobe, which is super helpful. It has functions that you can key through, but this is what's really useful to me. Used to be a lot of companies made these things and they were just rechargeable, and that didn't matter to me. I wanted something that I could drop a backup battery in, and this takes AAAs. So I can AAA it. Oh, and the all the fun stuff on the switches still work because this is still USB-C rechargeable. So it makes life very, very nice that I can run a backup and a regular in here. Good features. There is a clip that's on here. You can reverse it to go the other way if you need to use it on your hat as a backup headlamp or whatever. It's not the best headlamp in the world, but it does work. The throw on this is not that far, but for what you typically would use an EDC flashlight for, this works. Could you use it in a self-defense situation? I mean, sure, you can. I like having these little wings that are on here. That does let you get behind it. You can still draw your pistol and do all the tactical things with it. It is there. It's nice. Is it the most tactical option? No. But for an EDC flashlight, this checks a lot of boxes. Do I want some ability to have a ring on here? Yeah, I do. Am I looking for some 3D printed options that are going to interface with this? Yes, I am. Cross that bridge when we get there. But for now, this checks enough boxes and it flat carries enough. I mean, side by side. That makes life really nice, and it checks enough boxes that I have chosen to upgrade. Knife options. If you've been around my channel long enough, you'll know that I used to carry this knife all the time. I still have it. I still carry it. CRKT. This is the CEO. They make several options as a CEO. This is a nice knife. This is a very light knife. Pair of basketball shorts, you forget that you're wearing this. Slacks, you forget that you're wearing this. Is this a bushcrafty knife? No, not really. It's thin. It is long enough. It is thin enough. I don't want this being slipped in between my ribs, and neither do you. It is able to be sharpened decent enough. What steel is it? It doesn't matter. The vast majority of you guys do not use your knives enough to even be able to distinguish steel types in your blades. It doesn't matter. Do I wish that there were some better things about this knife? Yes, I do. This is not the most perfect knife in the world. Is it automatic? No, it's actually not. It's just got a thumb stud on it, and with some practice, you can whip out your thumb studs one-handed. My biggest thing that I don't like about this knife is it's a liner lock. I really wish it was another style of locking device. If Benchmade would ever let go of their stuff, or if we do a button lock or something, the liner locks are just a little annoying. It's the only thing I really don't like about this knife, except for maybe the texture that's on here. This is like a faux carbon fiber or whatever. I think it would be really cool to have G10, but it is what it is. These knives are not that expensive from CRKT, and I like it. I've broken these clips a couple of times. CRKT is really nice about them. They've sent me the whole knife again. It's a good product. I like it. Do I still carry it? Yes, I still carry this knife, but just not every day. Recently, I have moved to the Leatherman Skeletool. I like this knife. Is it the sharpest knife around? No, it's not. Oh, but it's got serrations. I don't like serrations. Well, you don't use a knife then. Honestly, serrations, if you need to cut rope, if you need to, do some very fine working, serrations are nice. Oh, I can't sharpen serrations. Get a round file. It's not that hard. Like, really, I get it. Like, having a straight, no serration blade comes in handy. I get it. It's nice. Do I want teeth on this thing? Yes, I do, actually. I like having 3 to 5 teeth available on a knife. This is just enough. It does what you need it to do. You can still get on that edge, do what it's supposed to do. I did not break this tip. The guy who owned this before me did. And I haven't had a problem with it. I've used this as a flathead screwdriver plenty of times. I don't know what he was doing to break it, but it is what it is. The screwdriver on this thing is a good screwdriver. I talk to people who have broken these things all the time. I don't know if I got the one that was heat treated well, but mine has not broken yet. You know, and I say that and it could break tonight, but I don't like these bits. I really wish that they were the dang 1/4-inch hex head bits, but I get it. Leatherman's got to do their thing when they're making these. The pliers that are on these, they work. They're nice. The carabiner that's there, it's decoration. But hey, you know what? Maybe you want to carabine something to it. It works as a bottle opener. Never used it as a bottle opener. But in general, this is a good, small, usable multi-tool. Having a pair of pliers on you is way more useful than you think it is. It's nice. The wire cutters that are on there, they cut wire. Like, it's nothing special. They're not replaceable, so I don't use the wire cutters on here very much because I want them to always work. The knife is primarily what you're going to use on this thing. The screwdriver is primarily your second, what you're going to use. The T configuration is typically how I will use this, more of a pistol setup, but it is what it is. I can take this and I can use the screwdriver the way that I need to use the screwdriver, and it works. I like having that. All in all, it's a good setup, and this has replaced my CRKT. So it's there. For the longest time, I was using this Ironman watch. This is the, let's see, the Timex Ironman HR. I want to like this watch. I wish that I liked this watch. There were just so many things about it that were, you know, whatever. The heart rate sensor on it was not what I thought it would be. It doesn't measure heart rate back here. It measures heart rate based off of your finger being on there, and it was not accurate at all. It would, and it's not that it, like, my heart rate would be 100 and it would read like 150 or something. It's that I would put my thumb on it and push down, and it was supposed to read the pulse in my thumb, and maybe 1 out of 10 times would it even read it, let alone accurately read it. The stopwatch feature on a watch, like, I don't use it that frequently. I use date, time, heart rate, and having always on heart rate is very, very nice to have. And I want the time down to the seconds, because if I have time down to the seconds, then I don't typically need a stopwatch. It's not that hard to do a little bit of mental math. I've replaced it. This was a gift from my wife, and I like this watch. This is the Garmin Forerunner 55. I wish this was a dumb watch. Can you turn off all of the smartwatch features on this? Yes, you can. Do I have those smartwatch features turned off? Yes, I do. But there is an option in the factory settings for this, for heart rate, date, time, seconds down on that. And that makes life so nice. Are there other features to this that, you know, make working out usable? Yes. Is it, you know, usable? Yes, it is. But this had base functions that I like, that I needed. This is a chargeable watch. It does not replace the batteries on here. This is about in the way I use it, a little over 2 weeks worth of continuous use on this watch, including the backlight, which I work in the night, in the dark, and having a backlight on your watch is really nice. It does auto adjust on its brightness. That is a little annoying, but if you need to be able to read it, then you just push on the backlight and it reads. And yes, I wear my watches like this. It is so much easier when you're working out, when you're running, to lift your arm like this and check the time than it is to, oh, hey, what time is it? Trust me, like, if you do these things, you would know. Also, if you have a firearm in your hand, you can see what time is on your watch when you pull the trigger, because you may need to testify to that. I'm just saying, it's there. Also, when it is here on my wrist, typically you are less likely to bump into things, because what's going to bump into it is what's on your wrist out here, not so much what's on your wrist out here. So in that, I like having this watch. Is it everything that I want out of a watch? No. I wish the features that work on here were in a dumb watch like this one. 12, why do you hate smartwatches? Okay, I had a Fitbit Versa. The Fitbit Versa, you can turn off features. Most smartwatches now, you can turn off the features. I had the microphone turned off. I had everything that was supposed to be on it that was, security sensitive turned off, because I worked in a secure environment where I could not have anything that received a signal that included Bluetooth. Now, if you could prove that you had turned those things off, then they would let it in. But if it had like a SIM card, or it could, cellular in some way, they would not let it in the door. So Apple Watches were not allowed in the door. In the secure environment, there were hard lines that were internally wired on the phones. They were not externally wired phones. So if you needed to make an outside call, there were designated places you had to go. There was no internet. There was an intranet. So it was a set of computers connected to each other, but no outside internet source, unless you went to a designated area where it was kind of in between zone and you could look things up. So in that, I was having a conversation about an ice machine. This was an industrial ice machine that produced, I don't know, about 10 gallons of ice over the course of 5 to 6 hours. And ours broke. Didn't much matter to me, but it mattered to a lot of people who were there. I made a couple of internal hardwired phone calls. I sent one message on a intranet computer. And then I exited the building later that day, and I had a conversation with one person outside of the building before I ever got back to my phone, before I ever got near anything else. That conversation that I had with that person was within 10 feet of the door. So neither of us had cell phones, neither of us had anything else. There shouldn't have been any microphones nearby. The only thing on me that technically had a microphone was a Fitbit Versa. And that Fitbit Versa was supposed to have those microphones turned off, and I verified that they were turned off. Lo and behold, I get home, I turn on my phone syncs with my Fitbit, and what's the very first targeted ad that I see on the internet as soon as I'm browsing is for that exact same make, model of ice machine. Yes, down to the model, and I verified, of ice machine for sale. How in the world, if that microphone was turned off, would it have listened to me? It's because it's always on. Those microphones are always on. So your tech having secure features to it, they say they're secure. They are not. And so that is the one thing that I really, really don't like about having a smartwatch, and why I wish I liked this thing. I do not. It's because these buttons are much too easy to push. This heart rate sensor does not read right. The battery does not last as long as it should, especially when you are using the backlight feature. This backlight drains this battery super fast, and then the backlight stops working, and it's annoying. You can change the battery, but like it's more frequently than you think you should have to change that battery. Like it's annoying, and it's a, I think it's a CR 2016, so it's not like a 2032 or something. You'd think it would be, but it's not. Anyway, this Forerunner checks most of the boxes. I wish it was a dumb watch, and I do not trust the fact that they say that you have actually got security features turned off. There's only one Garmin that I'm aware of that you can actually turn the security features off of, and they have verified that the security features are off, and that's one that they market towards special operators. And it's like a $500 watch, but hey, it is what it is. These are my current setups. I like these. This Angel Eyes E30 from Roy Vaughn. This flashlight, out of 10, this is a 9 out of 10 for me. If I could get a but if I could get a light ring on here to where I could do all the manipulating pistol thingies on here, I would like this way, way more. If it had a little bit more throw, I would like this way, way more. But honestly, this is a 9 out of 10. It's a good light. I like it. It's nice. Skeletal. This is, 8.5 out of 10. I like it. It works. This is a very, very good set of pliers. It's not the best in the world, but it works. It's a good knife. I like it. It's not the best, but it works. This is a good screwdriver. If this took the standard 1/4 inch bits, that alone, Leatherman, if you ever fix that, I would love this thing. This is a great, great tool. It has everything you need. I like it. This watch, 8 out of 10. I like it. If it was a dumb watch, I would love it. They say it's a dumb watch when I've turned everything off. I don't believe them. So maybe I'm the one that needs to change. But your EDC will grow and change as you do. You will find things that you like. You will find things that you don't like. But upgrading from one set of items to another set of items that fit your function, your needs in life better happens. Use your stuff. That is the whole point of the 12th C conditioning. Use your stuff. That includes your faith. Use it. Use your EDC items, because how else will you know what works and what doesn't work? Pressure test your systems. Go do hard things.